Thanks for tuning in to the Nick Stubs Show. I'm your host, Nick Stubs, where we cut through the noise of music and get to know the real artists behind the band. Together, I have Cosmos and Creatures, Molly and Brandon. Guys, how's it going?
It's great.
It's going good.
I have to say how much I love you guys because, I mean, the fact that I've actually interviewed you guys individually for another group, and we get to actually do this here at Harvelles, which is like an iconic place in the heart of Santa Monica.
When you get invited to come play at a legendary jazz club, you can't say no.
I mean, it's kind of okay.
Yeah,
if you're into that.
I dig it.
Okay, I really want to jump in. First off, congratulations on tomorrow being 5 years of you guys together. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yes, we met 5 years ago at a place called Hotel Cafe.
Hotel Cafe is kind of like a big deal in the Hollywood scene.
It definitely is. It's like a little speakeasy. A lot of artists who have become really big, like Adele, Ed Sheeran, John Mayer,
I think I've
Chris
heard
Martin.
of those.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
They play secret shows there, so they'll just pop up anytime. And the best part is there's always shows at Hotel Cafe. So on the 2-year anniversary of our relationship, we opened for John Mayer at one of his secret shows. It was amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah. Also, I actually interview for another program as well, and that's how I got to know you guys. I started individually interviewing both of you.
Yes.
Which is pretty amazing now that you guys are together, and also doing extremely well with Cosmos and Creatures. While this looks amazing and everything is so cool on social media, what I really want to talk about is behind the music, like how you actually got here and the struggles that are like what all musicians and artists actually deal with day to day.
Yeah, it's been a long road, and I feel like one of the biggest things with chasing a passion and a dream is a little bit of sacrifice along the way. Like there's a period of not knowing anything and kind of like struggling to make ends meet, and I feel like that still goes even when you feel like you've had any little bit of success. You still have to work to keep it going. So
just keep the momentum going.
Yeah, exactly. Persistence is super key. With releasing music, I encourage new artists to just put stuff out there. A lot of people wait to get a record deal or get discovered or find a manager, and I think the coolest thing about this time is you can make music for almost no money. You can put it out there and you can find people who resonate with it, and that's just really the step one. There's so many steps in doing videos and going on tour, but you can't really grow and find your audience if you don't drop music. So putting out music, failing with stuff, being really excited about things, wanting songs to get on the radio and them never getting on, but
and now the radio isn't even that big of a deal anymore.
No, it's so true. Spotify has changed the game, and that's something that, there's some controversy over some of the DSPs with payments and stuff like that, but my biggest thing is Spotify and all these avenues allowed people to become modern artists and be able to have side hustles and part-time jobs, but also fulfill their dreams and passions and maybe turn it into something that is fruitful for them in the future. So that's very exciting.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about some of the struggles. I'm curious what sort of struggles you actually went through.
Yeah. Well, when I came out here, I was 20 years old. I grew up in St. Louis, and being from St. Louis is one kind of struggle in itself. Also, I'm mixed race. I'm half Jamaican and Greek and Hungarian. So that's
super awesome.
Yeah, it's a whole another thing. So growing up as a mixed race kid in the Midwest, in a very diverse place, there's a ghetto on one side and there's prosperous county on the other side, and I got out of that place and went to New York for a little bit, then moved to LA, signed to a record deal. Thought it was like my dream come true. I was like, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna blow up, it's gonna be like, here we go. And quickly realized that there was a lot of development that needed to take place, and working with people, collaborating with people. It was really frustrating to make so much music and not put it out.
It's so humbling.
Yeah, it was like 5 years of growing up thinking, like I'm growing, and in reality, there's not a ton of fans coming in because they have nothing to latch onto.
What actual moment did you have that you almost quit?
When I first moved to LA, I was doing a lot of background acting actually because I was a part of the union already, and so just kind of like
that's actually
work on
good
different
money
sets.
too.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And then for a while I was waiting tables as well, and so there was a point where I really didn't have a lot of money. And I was like, I think I'm gonna have to go get a sushi restaurant job or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I'm gonna pay my rent. And so I went to some random restaurant, gave them my resume, and so I was training. I think it was my second table that I was waiting on. And I had waited tables already, so I kind of knew the drill. You know, there were some nuances to waiting in a Japanese restaurant, but anyway, I was standing there, and there were like 3 businessmen in the restaurant for lunch, and I was listening to, they were playing the radio, and Trey Songz Na 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 song was playing, and nothing like against Trey Songz personally, really have like respect for his art actually, but in this particular moment I was just like, if this song's on the radio, like I should really just be writing songs right now. Like there's really no benefit to me being here, like, and I kind of just, that was like a big turning point for me, you know? I was like, I need to just commit myself to this and tell myself I'm just gonna make music and like live off of that. And I think like it was like 6 months after that I signed my first publishing deal, which allowed me to support myself financially for the first time, you know, at 23 years old, and kind of be able to invest a little bit and kind of just like live and make music every day and feel what that was like, and have my like creativity open with my energy, you know, because that's really hard when you're trying to make ends meet.
I want you to tell about the struggle and how beautiful it is and how you can actually do this.
You know, the most important thing in chasing a passion is to listen to your intuition. A lot of people will tell you that you probably can, or there's like a little bit of fear, or maybe they've tried it, or they're thinking logistically or financially or stability. And sometimes there's this gut feeling, and I feel like that's the thing that pushes you through to the other side. So I think that you find along the journey, through the struggles, what you're willing to sacrifice. And if you find yourself continually pushing yourself toward your passion and your art, then that's something that you should lean into.
I completely agree and love that. Now, you actually have a solo project coming up that I want to jump in a little bit on.
Yes.
A little APA agency might be.
I'm very excited. I just signed with my first agency, which is awesome. I'm building a brand new team right now around Emanate, which is the project name. That's my middle name from my Jamaican heritage, which is really cool. My ancestors have all the same middle name, and it means
that's really cool.
To come forth. It comes from the word emanations. So yeah, when I was deciding to make that transition, I had spent, like I said, 5 years signed to a label, a few years releasing independently, and it just felt natural. The music kind of evolved into a specific place. I started producing a lot more. But
that's the great thing about like actually jumping and actually starting as a musician and just like growing.
Yes.
It's really about growth.
Definitely. Growth is so key, and I feel like each piece of my development to become Emanate, you know, starting thinking I was going to blow up as Brandon Burnett on the label, meeting Molly, strong presence as an artist. She's an amazing writer in herself. And then we started Cosmos and Creature, and there's all these forms of the same kind of like path of fulfillment. And yeah, it's a blessing. Yeah.
Now, as you said, Emanate, Nick is actually a family name. I'm one of 23 from my whole on my mom's side. Like,
that is epic.
Yeah. And now, if my mom had one, I was unnamed for a week in the hospital.
Yeah.
If my mom had one, it would have been Wolfgang, which I still think is kind of cool.
That's pretty bad.
But at the same
like
time,
that.
it's Nicholas, and it's just cool to actually have that heritage.
You should still just go by Wolfgang.
Oh,
your alter ego.
I have some ideas. I have some ideas. All right, for our viewer who doesn't know you yet, what are your socials?
Yours is
Molly Moore.
Spell it.
Molly, M-O-L-L-Y, Moore, M-O-O-R-E.
Then mine is Emanate, E-M-A-N, and then the number 8.
And together, we are
Together?
Cosmos and Creature. Sorry, that's how I say it to my dog. I just prefer together. I don't know why.
Together.
I mean, I'm down for it. And not to mention, you guys have these like leisure jumpsuits that you guys always rock, which is pretty
We're
sweet.
just like ready for the gym at any moment.
I mean, we just
don't even work out.
gotta get a sweat going.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, but we don't actually
I'm
get a sweat
actually
going.
sweating right now, so
Well, these lights are kind of bright.
I dressed appropriately.
All right, now, thanks so much for this time, and I look forward to catching you guys on stage.
My man.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Molly,
much.
Oh, yeah.
game on.
Big thank you to all of you guys. 2 things. First off, hashtag Nick Stubs Show. Second, hashtag @Harvelles SM. And a special thanks to some very close personal friends of mine, Cosmos and Creatures. You guys, come on up and let's do this.
speak the language, but I don't know your name. We seem like strangers, but I know we are the same. We got this energy, it's moving in our veins. We got this energy, so feed on me, feed on me. All that matters is that we can dance, we can dance, we can dance. All I'm gonna be is who I am, who I am, who I am. So don't take your eyes off me, 'cause I'm moving electricity. If you're hungry, I'm what you need. Come feed on me, feed on me. Sweet and tangled, yeah. Like the stars in retrograde. What's your angle? Yeah. Let me see you through the haze. We got this energy, yeah. Like lightning in our veins. We got this energy, so feed on me, feed on me. All that matters is that we can dance, we can dance, we can dance. All I'm gonna be is who I am, who I am, who I am. So don't take your eyes off me, 'cause I'm moving electricity, yeah, yeah. If you're hungry, I'm what you need. Come feed on me, feed on me.
Maybe you could lean on, maybe you could feed on my heart, my heart.
Maybe you can lean on it, maybe you can feed on my heart, my heart. Maybe you can lean on, maybe you can feed on my heart, my heart. Maybe you can lean on, maybe you can feed on my heart. Oh Speak the language, but I don't know your name.
Thank you for tuning in to the Nick Stubs Show, and look forward to catching you guys soon.